Welcome to the Sunbirds Sports Show here on 790 ESPN. Thanks for tuning in. Host Paul Meadors. We are live here at the beautiful Belmont Country Club for the 30th Annual Sunbird Golf Classic. This is an episode that we talked about during our Sunbird Sports Show during the entire year and thought, yeah, this is a wonderful event that they have here every year. Again, it's the 30th annual. I wasn't sure what to expect when I got here, but this event is absolutely amazing. First of all, this golf course is fantastic. I've driven by it a few times, but I've never gone inside. The country club is beautiful. The flowers are incredible. It's just a great sight, and the weather actually is not too bad today. I thought it could be worse when I saw this, on this date, June 22nd. Actually, we're recording on June 22nd on Monday. We're going to be replaying it on Wednesday night. But the Fresno Pacific puts on a phenomenal event here every year, and this year is no exception. It looks great. It's being catered by Canes as well. They just brought the food here. And we're going to have a special edition of the show. We have some exciting guests. We have two guests lined up for you today. After 10 years, we announced this back in May that C.J. Haydock stepped down from his position as the men's basketball coach at Fresno Pacific University, and we have the new hire. Super excited about this interview. Daniel Dyck is here live. He's actually sitting to the right of me. We're going to take a little break and bring on Daniel. He's got a lot of basketball experience here in the Central Valley. Coached at Clovis North for a year, coached at Fresno Pacific, was down at Point Loma in San Diego for the last 3 years, and now he is taken over the helm of the men's basketball program. We're going to be talking to him after the break. Like I mentioned, he's got a great story. I talked to him a little bit off air, and he is excited about this opportunity. Fresno Pacific, as you guys well know, is a fantastic, fantastic university, not only academically, but with the music program, drama as well, and, of course, the athletic programs that have really developed into something special. And in the second half of this episode, we're going to be talking with Kyle Ferguson, the athletic director at Fresno Pacific. There's been a few changes. We know their move from conferences, from the Pac West. Now they're going to be joining the new conference, the CCAA. Did I get that right, Daniel? I think I got that right. All right, the CCAA. It's going to be a wonderful conference. All the schools are going to be here on the West Coast. So tons of new exciting things are happening at Fresno Pacific University. If you guys missed any of the other episodes from this past year, this is actually episode number 30, right? We got to end on a nice, clean, even number there. You can go to Apple, you can go to Spotify, anywhere where you listen to your podcast. Go to the Sunbird Sports Show, and boom, there they are, right there for your listening pleasure. All right, enough about the opener. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Daniel Dyck, the new men's basketball coach at Fresno Pacific University. You're listening to it all on the Sunbird Sports Show on 790 ESPN. Welcome back to the Sunbird Sports Show on 790 ESPN. Just had a great conversation with the new men's basketball coach at Fresno Pacific, Daniel Dyck. Now we bring on Kyle Ferguson, the athletic director. You're number 3 in the books?
Yeah, just wrapping up here. Next week will be year number 3. Yeah,
what are we calling the official year date, right? You think of your birthday or start date. Like, is it June? Is that when you count the end of year 3 or
May?
May?
Year June 30. So I started July. Okay. Well, I technically started July 5th, 2023. So, but July 1 was the official start date.
Okay.
Yeah, the actual day I was on campus was July 5th. Yeah.
So I just had that great conversation with Daniel, and let me tell you, if that would have been like the interview for a job, I would have been like, man, halfway through I've been like, you're hired. Let's go.
So funny story about Daniel. Our men's basketball team qualified for the conference tournament, which was at Point Loma, where Daniel was an assistant. When we were playing our game, I sat in the hospitality area, and because I wanted to eat my snacks and watch our game, of course. But I sat next to this guy, and we just started talking back and forth, and about 10 minutes in, I said, oh, hey, I'm Kyle, by the way. And he goes, oh, I'm Daniel. And so I ended up watching our basketball game with Daniel. And so leading into this process, when Coach Haydock told me, hey, things are going this direction, I immediately asked CJ, I said, all right, can I get Daniel's number, and can we start that conversation? Because, of course, Daniel head coach for CJ and all those things. So it was an easy sell and easy hire for us, for sure.
All right, I got to ask a little bit about a golf game.
Sure, absolutely.
Did you play already?
I did. I got in.
How'd
I had three holes left. We were doing well. Thankfully, the people I invited are good, so that that helped us out a lot.
What's the best shot that you've made on the course?
I had probably about today I had about a 15-foot putt I nailed.
Ooh.
That was probably my best. Actually, today was one of the better rounds I've played in a while, so it was good.
So it's a good day, and
it was a good day.
Not even 2 o'clock yet.
I know. Yeah, it's good.
Successful day. Just describe how cool of an event this is. I mentioned this is my first time actually driving in to the clubhouse and seeing this beautiful golf course, but just describe what this event is, what it does for the university, how it brings people together, and the goal of this event.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started, like we mentioned, 2023. That was the first year. First year I had experienced this. We previously had done it years ago in the fall. There's a lot of competition for golf tournaments in the fall, so we had shifted it to the spring. My first year we did it in the spring. Then with the transition in our department of some people, some personnel, Matt Mazzoni was our fundraiser in athletics. He moved over to advancement. He had previously run the golf tournament. And so last year we took the year off to try to reevaluate timing and putting on the best possible thing we could put on. And we settled this year on June for a couple of reasons. One, our student athletes are not in class. Previously, we'd have it on a Monday, and guess what I don't let them do is skip class to come to a golf tournament. So it's nice to have our student athletes out here at different holes, doing different games for people, and honestly just talking with our partners and alumni and donors. One thing I did notice last year when we did not do it is a number of people asked me about it.
Yeah.
And so it became very clear to me that, hey, this is something that our community desires, and it's something that allows us, as much as anything, to come together and to be together doing something fun together. Of course, there's a fundraising aspect to it, but honestly, if we just broke even, and it's a good experience for everyone, we're happy with that.
Ever have thoughts of a golf program at Fresno Pacific?
We've had the conversation. It's difficult at this point, the financial piece of golf. So years ago, it used to be a lot cheaper for greens fees. Yeah. And golf courses were often much more accommodating for universities. Post-COVID, golf courses are pretty full. And so for us, it's a matter of looking at the dollars and cents. And right now, it doesn't align with where we need to be. But never say never. I'm always for any opportunities.
How many colleges in the new conference have golf programs?
That's a good question. There's definitely
half?
Definitely more women's than men's.
Okay.
I know in the Pac West, you're probably looking at about half. I have not, because we don't host or sponsor golf. I actually don't know the answer to that in the CCAA.
Good year, though, for Fresno Pacific University, wasn't it, athletic-wise?
Yes.
Right? The volleyball program, an unbelievable season. Track and field had some phenomenal performances as well. Overall scope of athletics, now that, we're sitting in June, sitting at the golf tournament, and you can reflect a little bit. Like, what were some great aspects of it, and what's kind of the overall reaction to the year that was?
Yeah, so we finished this year second in the Pac West in the Commissioner's Cup. And what that is, it's basically a accumulation of finishes for your sports throughout the year. Our highest finish previous to this year was fifth. So this is our best cumulative sports year across the board that we've ever had. You mentioned volleyball, winning conference, finishing in the Sweet 16, finishing in the top 10 nationally at the end of the year. The track and field programs, the men's program won conference. The women's program, without an injury the week before, would have won conference. Both of them performed so well at nationals as well. And then our baseball team finished second in the conference. Men's cross country finished second. And then honestly, all our men's sports that could have qualified for a conference tournament qualified. Outside of Point Loma Nazarene, we were the only school to have that. And then there's the Director's Cup, which is basically a nationwide accumulation of statistics and of finishes. We finished 92nd overall, which it kind of takes into account if you have lots of sports, you can get a lot more points as well. But we finished 92nd overall. Our previous highest finish was 132nd. So for us, it's showing, I think for me, it shows, one, how well our coaches are doing and our student athletes are doing. I've had multiple people say, hey, congratulations. And I'm like, thank you. But it turns out I don't recruit, coach, or play. And so all the credit goes to them. And then, again, we had 65 student athletes graduate, a 3.3 student athlete GPA. And so all those different pieces of our students performing in the classroom, doing community service, and then actually getting it done on the court, field, track, pool. It's been a very, very good year for Fresno Pacific.
Well, my follow-up, and you actually answered it halfway through, it would have been why. And I'm glad you mentioned the student athletes and the awesome coaches that you have there at Fresno Pacific University. The vibe, though, that's one of the great things that I love about doing this this radio show / podcast is the vibe of the student athletes, right? It just,
yep.
They're incredible kids. They all have a story. They all have their own journey to the school. What do you see? What do you hear from coaches? What do you see on campus as far as the vibes from the student athletes on campus?
So I think a lot of this credit for that vibe goes back to our leadership across the board on campus. Dr. Stevens has really set the tone, and it trickles down all the way down to our student athletes. Our coaches, we have been very blessed to have very high quality, high character coaches who then in turn recruit very high quality, high character students. And not only that, the joy, the fun, our goal is to provide a student athlete experience that when they leave, they say that was an awesome time being a student athlete. I don't want to leave because it was such a good experience. So that's been my goal since I started, is how can we provide this? And this is where a lot of the, oftentimes donors' money comes in, where it allows us to do different things with facilities, which anyone who's listening who hasn't been to our facilities in the last 3 years, hit me up and I'll gladly show you around. We just did a bunch of paving out from baseball out to track. So now that whole walkway is paved. We're going to landscape out there, which again just beautifies the area. Our baseball stadium is gorgeous. We are doing more renovation in the SEC lobby, our gym with the video boards and new seating. It's a top tier institution, and we're now able to showcase that through our facilities on the athletics side. So our goal again is to provide that student athlete experience across the board, and we're very blessed to have the students we have.
It's working. I see it with my own eyes, right? It's absolutely
awesome
working. I want to ask you, got a few more minutes with Kyle Ferguson, athletic director. Ask you about the transition, right? You've probably been asked about this a lot, but we've been at different stages from the announcing part, right, to, okay, how are we going to do it? How are we going to frame it? To whatever legal is. I don't even know what the right words are, right? Yeah. All the transitions that you have to do on your end. How are you able to do it, first of all, and then where are we at with that? Like full steam ahead, schedule set, all that good stuff?
Everything's set. It took the conference schedules took a little while to get into place. So Menlo College, who was previously in the Pac West, joined in the fall. So that kind of reset all the schedules for the CCAA. We are thrilled. I mean, July 1, we're official members. I attended the conference meetings a few weeks ago, and we're thrilled about the opportunity. I was talking actually with some of our students on the course today, and they were talking about how excited they were to be in the CCAA. And I said, why? Tell me why. I'm excited for it, but why are you excited for it? And they talked about the consistent schedule. Previously, with the teams from Hawaii, you'd have a random Monday game, like a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday games for soccer, which is very difficult. And difficult on your body, difficult on your class schedule, all those different pieces. It's very consistent now. Our schedule becomes very consistent across the board. We've talked about the class time. Yeah. Initially, that was one of the main pieces, is our students are going to miss a whole lot less class than they currently do. And so we're looking ahead to it now that it's actually here, now that it's real. And we're very excited for the level of competition. We're excited for the opportunities for fan engagement with more local teams to play. In general, we're excited that this is going to allow us to provide even a better student-athlete experience.
All right, a couple more questions for you here, Kyle. Are you able to take an extended quote-unquote vacation yourself. You got anything?
I'm hoping so. So after today, I'm taking off until the 4th, so I do have some time.
All right.
Nothing's really planned. My wife and I keep trying to find time to plan, and we haven't. I need vacation to plan the vacation, I think. So we're going to sit down, and we'll probably just hang out a lot at home and really just be together as a family, which is honestly my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
So for me, that is the vacation.
I was going to say, you need a cabin to find a cabin.
Yes,
right?
indeed.
Yes. You need some. Yes. All right. Final question for you here, Kyle. Just why is Fresno Pacific just such a special place? What are you hearing from the community? Again, this great event here with the golf tournament at Belmont Country Club. Why do you love Fresno Pacific, and what special place does it hold in your heart?
That's a good question. It ultimately comes down to our students, and I say that I start with that. Fresno Pacific is a place that allows us to bring in students who are coming for an education. Some of them are coming for the spiritual life aspect as well, but it allows us to recruit, teach, build up students academically, spiritually, physically. And what I look at specifically for Fresno Pacific is the type of student we have. It really reflects the Valley. We're the top private school in the nation for social mobility, which speaks to the fact that higher education, specifically one at Fresno Pacific, is changing lives, these students' lives for sure, but their immediate family and then their future families. I am a huge advocate for higher ed. Obviously, I work. That's my career. But specifically at FPU, you can point to a number of individuals, and you as an alum, I'm sure, could do this and say, hey, without FPU, you wouldn't be where you are. And so Fresno Pacific specifically is providing these opportunities for these young men and these young women. And this is why sport allows us to bring them in and helps us bring them in, because it ultimately changes their lives.
I agree on all fronts. You just look out there in the community, the amount of basketball coaches during the time I was there that are out there still in the Central Valley is numerous.
Mm-hmm.
You just see the fingerprints of Fresno Pacific all over the valley, and that's a testament to the mission of the university and to the wonderful people involved there. And you're certainly one of them, my friend. Thanks
Paul.
for coming on. You have a couple more holes. You got to golf. Are you going to jump in?
I'm going to eat now. So I'm good. My back's already tightened up now. The time has passed.
You do look very relaxed. You got to get some food in you right now. All right.
Thanks to you, Paul. Appreciate you always doing this. And this has been another fun year.
I agree. Let's roll back next year. Let's do the best we can. All right. Huge thanks to 1430 ESPN Fresno 790, obviously, as well for today's show. A huge shout out. We don't talk about this guy enough, Jim Geltema. He is the behind-the-scenes guy. He is the wonderful director over there at Fresno Pacific that helps me with booking the guests. He actually books all the guests, provides information. So thanks, Jim, for always being available and for doing it.
I'll jump in for Jim, too. Jim is next level.
He is.
I say we're blessed to have him, but that underscores what he does for us.
Agree.
He's unbelievable.
Yep, I agree. He does a fantastic job. Also, thanks to the guest, Daniel Dyck, and, of course, Kyle Ferguson. Hey, and thanks to Fresno Pacific for being willing to allow the show and hear the voices out there. It's a wonderful university, as you guys are well aware of. Have a great rest of the summer, everybody, and we are going to try our best to roll it back next year and bring you all the wonderful stories from Fresno Pacific University. This is the Sunbirds Sports Show on 790 ESPN. And now we welcome to the program for the first time. Excited about this interview. I hope you guys enjoy what you're about to hear. Daniel Dyck, he's the new men's basketball coach here at Fresno Pacific University. Again, we are doing our show live from the Belmont Country Club. Just a beautiful venue here for the 30th Annual Sunbird Golf Classic. So, Daniel, did you decide to not play golf today? What's your or did you get an early round in? What's going on with you?
Oh, man, that's a great question. No early round for me. My golf game is just okay at best. I think like everybody else, when COVID happened, I kind of started to get into it a little bit. And when I moved to San Diego shortly after, kind of lost touch with the game a little bit. And so, yeah, we'll call it by choice. I got off it.
So let's say you did end up golfing today. Would under 100 be a goal?
That would be the goal. That would be the goal.
Can I bump it up to 105?
I'd be really upset if I was above that.
Okay.
I would be really upset. The goal would be double digits for sure.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Again, can I underestimate how beautiful this golf course is in this event? Check it out.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Tim Beauregard's done an awesome job getting this place all dressed up, ready to go. Have smashing numbers. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I drove up and saw a lot of guys out on the green wearing their orange polos and the blue Sunbird polos.
The matching guys, they better win this thing. If you're going to show up ready to go like that, you got to back it up.
All right, let's start off our conversation. Again, congratulations on the gig. I've known about your coaching prowess, and I know your family as well. Yeah. So this is an honor for me. Are you still getting used to the title of men's basketball coach at Fresno Pacific University?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get used to it until the guys start showing up on campus. But no, it's a blessing. It's a dream come true in a lot of ways and for a lot of reasons. So it's been pretty awesome.
All right, so let's go through the process of you landing the gig. When did you first hear about it opening up? I know you obviously have a close relationship with the school and Coach Haydock, but the process of applying, and because they had to move really quick because this was only announced in May that the job was open. So kind of walk us through how you came to be the head coach.
Yeah, it was a quick process. Even Coach Haydock had no idea really. It happened very quickly, and his family's very blessed, and he's on to a great situation. And I think like everybody else, there was the initial kind of shock of it. Obviously, Coach Haydock had become so synonymous with the program and with the university that when it did happen and I heard the news, it was an absolutely no-brainer that I needed to at least see how I was thought of at Fresno Pacific still. And I'm blessed to have worked with a lot of the people that are still at the school, and so there was definitely some familiarity throughout the process, but also some new faces. Like the athletic director, Kyle Ferguson, and I did not share any time together at Fresno Pacific, so obviously we have a lot of common people and some third-party relationships, but kind of just got to know each other throughout the process. We had touched base a little bit throughout the year, just seeing him at some events. We hosted the Pac West tournament at Point Loma, and so was able to catch up with him there a little bit and just get to know him and his family and all of that. And we always had great interactions, and so when the job came open, it was natural to inquire and see if there was some mutual interest, and fortunately for me, there was.
So you were down at San Diego when you heard the news. What did you contact them, or did they contact you? What did that initial contact look like?
I think a little bit of both. I think it was kind of a mutual. Hey, like I'm trying to get in the mix, see what's going on there, and Kyle was like, yeah, we were going to reach out, and so we kind of just found each other, I would say, and moved fairly quickly from there. So got pretty deep pretty quickly in terms of visions for the program, what the job looked like, expectations, where my life has gone since I was at Fresno Pacific. That's the cool thing, is a lot has changed in my life, and a lot has changed on campus at Fresno Pacific since I had been there. And so while there was a lot of familiarity in terms of the bones and the structure of the place, there was a lot of brand new. I was blown away when I was on campus.
You had seen that new scoreboard
one time, yeah, when we played this year. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's very impressive. So when you got the call was it a call from Kyle?
It was.
When you saw him pop up on your phone, what was going through your mind?
I was pretty starstruck, pretty stunned. Kind of asked. I think I actually asked him for like an hour to collect myself. Yeah, so, hey, like, thank you very much. Very fired up. Can I have an hour to like settle and gather myself, call my wife, and work through it? But no, we were absolutely thrilled for our family, and we're blessed.
Was that an easy conversation with your wife?
Yeah.
It had to have been, right? If you're going through the process,
yeah,
right. You got to have those conversations like, hey, we could move again, all the things that come along with being a coach's wife.
Yeah, no, that's the hardest job. That's way harder than being the coach, if we're being honest. I mean, we moved to San Diego, and then now obviously back to Fresno. But even while we were in San Diego, we moved 3 different times, trying to find a place that was the most suitable for our family. And we had actually just moved to a new place in San Diego in January. And so yeah, like we're all very excited. We did love our time there and enjoyed life there. And so, you know, there's the complexities of being really excited about one situation and also being proud of what you left behind. And you know, the times that we got to basically the first 3 years of my daughter's life were there in San Diego. And so a lot of good memories that we're leaving there as well. But we're so thrilled for the future in Fresno.
This is obviously something that you personally have been working towards, right? The grind, as you could say, as being a high school coach, then transitioning to being an assistant college coach, and then the opportunity came. Did you have something set in your mind, like by age whatever, I want to become the head coach of a college program? Was that something that you set forth?
That's a great call. I think if you would have asked me when I was 12, I would have told you that I was going to be the head coach at Duke when I was 30. And I think if you would have asked me at 28 what I would be doing, I'd be like, I don't know what we're going to do. But yeah, I've always struggled with the concept of like, hey, what's your dream job? Hey, what's this look like? Because to me, my whole journey in this profession has been more so about the people. I've been really picky about who I was going to work for along the way, more than anything else, more than chasing level, more than even chasing responsibility in some ways. It was really about who do I align with, who can I help make this place better from a macro, from the university standpoint, and from like who's my boss, who am I working with. All that's has mattered more than anything else. And so I don't know if it was more so like, hey, I need a head coaching job by this age, as much as it was I felt like I have a skill set and I have some gifts that align with this place. I'm obviously familiar with the city. I'm familiar with the university. And the time felt right in terms of being able to take this next step and continue to build upon what we already have here at Fresno Pacific.
Can I ask you how old you are?
Just turned 30 last week.
There it is. 30 years old. Head coach of Fresno
Nice
Pacific University. That isn't even. And this is the 30th annual golf tournament here at Belmont. The transition, you mentioned that a little bit. Obviously, your familiarity with the program, with Fresno and the Clovis community as well. The transition, like what have you found that's been easy? What have you found like, man, I got to grind this out a little bit harder? How has that transition been for you?
Yeah, I think the easiest piece is just because we have some familiarity, right? We understand where the schools are, right? We have a almost 4-year-old daughter. In figuring that out, right? We have areas of town we know we like to spend time and live in. Obviously, we lived in Fresno for I think 5 or 6 years, right after getting married. So that was, I'd say, the easiest piece. And then the toughest piece is going to be there are some new people around, right? Obviously, a lot of the roster I don't have a ton of familiarity with in terms of having those personal relationships. I do have a couple, but most of the guys, we don't have a ton of reps together. And so that's been the biggest piece. And that's the biggest thing about Fresno Pacific is before we win in any other area, we have to win in relationships. Yeah. If we don't have the best relationships on our team, then we can't maximize ourselves. And so that has been absolutely paramount to me. I told Kyle, like, basically, like, hey, as soon as we get the job, like, I'm going to celebrate for 10 minutes, hug my wife, we're going to be very excited, and then I got to get started on knowing these people, getting to know the players, getting to know their families, start trying to build that trust that in all reality, like, it's impossible for them to fully trust me right now, and that's okay. We don't have that many reps together, but we do have to start that process because if we want to win games, it is an absolute race to the first weekend of November, and it's between us and the rest of our conference. And let me tell you, Paul, the rest of our conference doesn't care that it's a new coach. They don't feel sorry for us. No. They're going to move on and keep doing their thing, and so we have to match that, not only match it but exceed it.
How many guys have you met with so far?
In person, only the local guys. But we've hit the ground running from day one in terms of talking to the guys. I talk to everybody multiple times a week, just in terms of checking up on their lives, their development, what they need from me. There's no easy way to do a transition like this. Like, part of it is just, all right, man, like, congrats, you got the job, go to work. And then I've got a lot of people to help me, but like, I need to go figure out who to ask questions. I need to figure out what each guy needs. And so it's been awesome getting to know the families already. And, getting to know them over Zoom, getting to know them over FaceTime and phone calls. You just slowly chip away at this thing.
I'm trying to put my perspective, I guess, on the players right now, right? So obviously Coach Haydock, the massive influence that he have not only on the campus but with the basketball program, with the players. And like you said, everything happened really quick, and here's a new guy. Do you feel like you almost have to sell the program again to the guys? Like, do you put yourself in their shoes a little bit? Like, do you try, hey, I'm not going to, like, have all these goals for them right away. I'm going to learn to get to know them a little bit more. Is that kind of how you're approaching it?
Yeah, that's an interesting way of phrasing it. I think, for me, the biggest piece has just been, number one is making sure, like, hey, what do you need from me straight away? Like, before we even get to my expectations, new program expectations, all of that, like, what do you need from me to make sure that your summer is at its best? And once we get that information, figure out where each guy's at, okay, now we can move forward with, all right, these are the new expectations. Hey, like, I expect this out of you guys. This is kind of where the system's headed, what we need to be working on. So I was able to touch base with everybody in the first 3 days of getting the job, and I did want to make sure I had a plan in terms of, hey, here are expectations, not so much in role, but being able to present film to them, being able to present analytics to them of, like, hey, this is what went well. Hey, this is what we definitely need to improve on, and this is how we get there. And so we're still in the process of getting our systems exactly right on what that looks like. But I was able to get kind of the general overview and plan to them right off the bat. And it just comes through prioritization. Like, the guys are the most important piece to it, is the people in the building. And so before we did anything else, that was paramount to me.
I want to definitely talk about some basketball-specific stuff in just a second. I do have one more question, though, just more about the rest of the year. So here we are in late June, right? What does the rest of the month look like, and what does July look like for you and the program?
Yeah. So we're finishing up getting our last couple of recruits signed, getting those across the finish line, finishing up hiring the staff and getting all that set. I think we're just about done there, and then kind of hitting the ground recruiting for 2027 and 2028, believe it or not. We were already on the road last week in Arizona. There was a big high school event, and we'll be up in Sacramento next weekend at another high school event. And, I mean, like we kind of talked about, there's no time to waste. Nobody's waiting around for us to get our feet under us. Nobody cares. The world's moving on, and we need to be able to do all of it at the same time, be able to manage it. It's part of the expectation. So a lot of recruiting, and then a lot of getting the structure in place for the fall once the guys do get here.
But you knew where your office was when you arrived on campus.
I knew exactly
so that's awesome.
where it was.
That's
I had a lot of conversations in that office. I was just sitting on the couch, not in the chair. Now I sit in the chair.
What's it look like? What's the first thing you put up in the office? Have you decorated it yet?
I haven't gotten there yet. It's pretty bare right now. Right. I do have a small army of people helping me with that, fortunately, because that is not my gifting.
You don't have, like, a picture of Michael Jordan, a signed autograph picture up yet or anything like that, right?
Not yet. I do have a lot of stuff that I've been storing at my parents' house that they're like, hey, you have an office now. You need to get this out of our house and get this into your office. So I have some pretty cool stuff that I got to figure out what I need to do with it.
All right. Basketball-specific questions here. What's your style? Right? What's the Daniel Dyck staple going to be as far as your program goes?
For sure. I think for me, I always err on the side of skill. Size is important, 100%. I believe that more than anybody. Athleticism is important, absolutely. Number one, we need to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot better than everybody else. I know it seems very simplistic, but it's the truth. If you look at the best players in the world, they're the ones who can dribble, pass, and shoot better than anybody. And so continuing to make our guys better is the biggest piece in terms of what it looks like. I want our practices to be very much development driven, very much making our guys better and less walking through the other team's plays, less 5-on-0 walkthroughs. To me, if we recruit better players than anybody else and we develop them better than anybody else, then at that point the coaches kind of just got to get out of the way in some ways. Let's put the basic structure out there for them and let them be dudes.
What is a prototypical ideal basketball player that you're looking at?
So versatility is important.
Yeah.
And I mean that on both ends. I don't love players that are one-trick ponies, right? If you're going to have one skill, it better be elite, like one of the best in the world at it. Other than that, I need guys that can all really dribble, pass, and shoot. And there's obviously a sliding scale, right? If you're more gifted physically and athletically, then sometimes the margin for error is a little bit greater in terms of the skill level you need to have. But versatility on offense and then versatility on defense. So usually what that ends up looking like, that can be multiple things. Part of that's a mindset and a mentality thing. You know, some of the best post defenders I've ever coached are 5'11" Bulldogs that are scrappy. Like, I don't know if you remember Adrian Antunes from Clovis West.
Yeah.
And Fresno Pacific, fourth all-time leading scorer in school history. Incredible post defender, because even the biggest of guys couldn't seal him off. He was always scrapping, always sneaking in there for steals, active hands, right? So it can be in the form of that, and it can also be in the form of physical giftings, right? If I'm 6'5" with a plus wingspan, it's easier for that guy to guard 4 people on the floor at a time or 5 people on the floor at a time. And so hunting guys that are versatile on both ends of the floor, and then guys that we can max out, guys who are right between the ears, who are going to be able to develop, right? There's plenty of examples of guys who are more talented than the rest of their peers as a high school senior, and then they don't get any better in college because they're not right between the ears, whether that's they're not right or they're not about the right things, whether that is they don't quite know how to take their development seriously and treat it like a professional. We need guys who understand the game and take it very seriously, right? And so that's where being in Fresno is a blessing, because we understand the level of expectations in high school athletics here in our valley, and we understand that when you play for a guy like Tony Amundsen, when you play for a guy like John Jones or Lee Maryberry's doing great stuff at Clovis High, or we can talk about any of them, Adrian Wiggins, all of them, they all hold an incredibly high standard and create a situation where our players, as we get local guys in the program, they're not fazed by the level of expectations, because they've been doing that and probably more at their high school program, if we're being honest.
And I'm glad you mentioned Tony. You spent 1 year, I believe, there at Clovis North, and he's been on my other Saturday show multiple times, and it's almost savant-like, right? And one thing that I remember that he said is, we want to create our practices that are more difficult than the games, because then the games will take care of themselves.
Yep.
Right. And I want to ask you too, being at Point Loma, being at Fresno Pacific, being under some of these high-level coaches, and seeing a lot of Division II high-level basketball as well. What are some of your takeaways that now you're taking into the job, just coaching-wise, what are some of the things that you've learned from different mentors or people?
Yeah. Tony, working for Tony was a 1-year master class in terms of, it's kind of funny, exactly what you said, creating situations for the players that were way more difficult than anything they'd ever face in a game, right? We would step up against teams in whether it was regular season games, playoff games, sometimes in the summer or fall, where we were outsized at every single position, and our guys were not fazed by it because it was nothing they hadn't seen before in terms of the level of intensity, physicality, and iron sharpening iron, right? That was a master class from him. With Coach Haydock, it was I'm going to use the word master class again because I'm lost for words right now, but he was absolutely elite at constructing a program from a 10,000-foot view and seeing a program through a whole year's lens, and not necessarily getting so caught up in the minutia of one play or getting caught up in the minutia of one practice. And while that's certainly important, and obviously one practice makes a huge difference along the way, he was really good at mapping out a year in terms of culture, in terms of development, in terms of X's and O's, and planning for what a season would look like. I learned so much from him and Coach McClurg on that type of stuff. And then at Point Loma, I worked for a guy named Justin Downer, and our associate head coach Jeff McIntosh was there as well, and they were incredibly gifted at creating buy-in from the players and creating a situation where you could hold guys accountable and not be a crazy person about it, right? Helping make sure guys understood that you love them, and once they understand how much you love them, now you can coach them really hard and hold them accountable, not only on the floor, but in their life, in their nutrition, in their lifting habits, all of that stuff they were just so fantastic at. And so I'm blessed to have worked for 3 staffs that, while all commonly aligned in terms of a greater purpose, they all, I think, we're exceptional at different things. And so I'm hoping to be able to take a little bit of what they all do, be able to take a lot of what I'm good at and be able to apply it all at Fresno Pacific.
All right. We got a couple minutes. I got two questions for you. One is going to be a personal question. The other is going to be a wrap-up type question.
Let's go.
Give us. So you already mentioned you're not very good at decorating things, all right, for your office. There's nothing up yet. But what is, you mentioned no golf as well. You got a hidden talent. You got something out there that you can share that.
Oh, man.
I know are you basketball through and through?
I
am. Can you cook?
I
like, can you recite poetry? I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
You're getting close there. My dad's an English teacher,
yeah,
and so I'm much more gifted in the literature world than people would expect.
All right.
I can hold my own in a room like that.
All right.
I think I used to work at my summer job in college. I worked at Bobby Salazar's in Old Town Clovis. I was a busser there, so every once in a while I would jump up for karaoke on the weekends and give my best shot there. And so I think I would surprise some people in one way or another. I think I would shock people is actually probably the better fitting word for that. So I think I can hold my own there, but I've got a couple of things, but to be honest, I get to do my hobby for a living. And so, like, how cool, right? I get to do my hobby and make a living off of it. And so anything outside of that, I'm spending a lot of time with my family. And, like I said, I have an almost 4-year-old daughter. I've got my wife at home. So we spend a lot of time together and do that. All
right. Final question. Why do you love Fresno Pacific so much, and how much are you looking forward to the men's basketball program?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's aligned. It's aligned with what I believe. It's aligned with, I think, how I want to build it up, right? I think the leadership here from Kyle Ferguson and all the way up to the president and everybody wants to do it similarly to how I view college athletics, right? We view it in the same way in terms of being really excited about still being able to develop guys, right? And have guys here for 4 years, right? Get guys from local high schools, from up and down California, and obviously we'll dip our toe in other areas as well as we need to, but they're passionate about the student athletes' development holistically, not only on the floor but off the floor as well, and continuing to dive into that with going head first, really.
Well, I'm excited for you, right? When I heard that CJ was stepping away from the program, my heart sunk a bit,
right,
which a lot of people can attest to. Yeah. And when I heard you got the gig, I was like, oh, the program's in good hands. So, hey, I appreciate you as always, man. This has been a fun journey for me to watch you end up getting this gig. So,
absolutely.
I'm sure we'll have a few more conversations along the way.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
You bet.
Hope so.
Thank
you.
Daniel. Thank you. Congrats.
You.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to bring on Kyle Ferguson, the athletic director here at Fresno Pacific University, on the Sunbirds Sports Show on 790 ESPN.